Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Morning, Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Crazy, crazy, crazy world right now. The only way to survive this is to be on the sidelines. It's kind of like, again, the calm before the storm. Democrats aren't going to give up. The deep state clearly won't give up. All kinds of plans for January 6th and December 3rd. You're going to hear a date for everything. I'm not going to give you a date. I'm going to say get your standalone assets, get them in your own possession, sit on the sidelines like I've been screaming for so long. You should not have any mining shares. You should not have any ETFs, obviously. You should be on the sidelines with your physical silver and your cryptos that you like and be able to write out anything. With a click of a mouse, they can put everything to zero or even minus 40 like they did with oil. Once you come to that understanding that there's no such thing as a free market, there hasn't been since the invention of computers, computer trading programs that Alan Greenspan wrote in the early 1970s, there's not been a free market. And there won't be a free market until we change. And the United States of America has the final mouse click. We have been in charge of the entire global unbacked fiat monetary system for a very long time. And so the rest of the world looks to us to end the game. We are currently the losers in this game. China is clearly the winner. Russia is running in to be a winner. Anybody who knows anything about what makes a country great, is it the amount of pieces of paper you have or electronic blips? Or is it your manufacturing capacity? Or is it the assets you have in the ground? Now, the United States has massive assets in the ground. A lot of talk about going back to a gold standard. Interesting. So I went to Zero Hedge, because I've been reading about everyone saying, oh, BRICS are going back to the gold standard. This country's going back to the gold standard. So I did a search on Zero Hedge for gold standard, and there's 3,470 articles on it. BRICS will use a gold standard. Gold standard will continue to rise. U.S. standard of living continue to drop. Is the world lurching back to a gold standard? I do believe we will go to a gold standard. But it's not the gold standard that they think it is. Guys like Jeff Christian will tell you there's 210,000 tons of gold. That is so far wrong. Blatantly wrong. There are millions of tons of gold, millions of tons. The U.S., I would expect to show at some point, we're going to say, oh, by the way, we've been sitting on over 1 million tons in the Grand Canyon, Chocolate Mountain, all these hidden places that are now national wildlife preserves in California, in the Arizona area, the Grand Canyon area, and so have many countries. Read Sterling and Peggy Seagrave's book, Gold Warriors, get an idea. That's somewhere around 300,000 to 400,000 tons of gold hidden in the Philippines by Yamashita, that the U.S. kind of pretty much took charge of. And they haven't found all of it, but they've found most of it, I believe. And that just blows away anything you can stick your head around about going back to gold standard. You cannot go back to a gold standard if you don't know how much gold there is in the world. I do believe behind the scenes, that's one of the main things the good guys have been working on is, how much gold is there really? If we count everybody, how much oil is there? We have 200 years of oil in Alaska that we refuse to tap into. This is a game of, we're going to run the fiat monetary system as long and hard as possible, soaking up all the benefits, build our roads, the bridges, the houses, the military, and at some point we're going to pull the plug. And when will the United States pull the plug? When it's the most advantageous to us to do that. We are losing the game, so now is a great time to pull the plug. I think it will be pulled before Inauguration Day. And I think it will be the Democrats who do something stupid and the deep state that does something stupid to trigger that. And as the old system falls down, you have to be on the sidelines with your metal, with your silver. If you have gold, I have no idea why you're not swapping it for silver at 85 to 1. It's insane. I mean, it's the definition of insane. If you know how much better and how much more scarce and how much more useful silver is than gold, why aren't you making that move? If you love gold, I've said this a million times, if you love gold, you would swap all your gold for silver, get 80 ounces of silver or so, and then swap it back when the gold-silver ratio goes to 1-to-1. First stopping point is probably 16-to-1 because people say, well, that's the old average before the derivatives. Well, the reality is all that silver is gone. That was the old average when there was above ground at 16-to-1. Now we're above ground at 1-to-1. So we'll hit 16-to-1. All of a sudden they'll say, oh my God, this is even wrong. We're pulling it out of the ground at 7-to-1. Above ground, it's 1-to-1. And oh, by the way, we need all this silver in solar panels, believe it or not. And the new technologies that are coming. You don't think Elon knows this? Absolutely, he knows this. So, yeah, there's no reason to have gold right now. If you love gold, you swap it for silver, and then when we have free markets, let's just say 7-to-1, it reverts to when we do have free markets, no more derivative markets. You're all of a sudden making 10 times, you'll have 10 times the amount of gold you have right now. Gold will still be going up, don't get me wrong. It'll go up a little, 2, 3x. Silver will go up massively in comparison to gold and in comparison to anything else. There is no more important asset on the planet. That's why they keep holding the price down. Silver is trading currently at, drum roll please, $30, $30.50. By the way, if it drops below 30, I'm going to give away the last Road to Ruta coins. They are two-sided, the two-sided faces of the coins. Not two-faced, but two-sided faces. There's the Ruta with the red heart, and then the Ruta in the Grand Canyon. Cool coins, very limited number made, and I will be giving those away with a private road subscription when, not if, when the riggers put the price of silver below $30. I do think that's coming. They almost hit it today. And why will they do that? Because they want to try to close out the shorts. Here's the problem. When they do that, when they throw it below the 100-day or 200-day moving average, China, Russia, and India are all loading up on physical metal, not the derivative contracts. They would love it if the price stayed low. They would love it if the riggers put the price at negative $40 like they did with oil. Bix, how could they do it? We saw it happen. Everything is fake. Everything is fake. Great article on Zero Hedge. Extreme greed. Oh, wait. Here. It's not it. There's another one. They just got handed fraudulent books. Ed Dowd confirms our warning that Trump is inheriting a turd of an economy. And he goes, this is a interview on USA Watchdog, Greg Hunter's awesome site, by the way. I've never seen such blatant manipulation of government statistics. Well, why haven't you been looking for the last 50 years? They've always lied. And it took computers to enforce the lie. Computer market manipulation. It was not the everything is hunky-dory pablum that the mainstream media told us. When they do, Trump is going to inherit a turd of financial market crises. Incoming Trump administration has to get out in front of the narrative. This was already baked into the cake. They just got handed fraudulent books, so they are basically going to get blamed for what is coming. That's why one of the main reasons I'm saying the button has to be clicked. Press the button, and everything goes away. Poof. And how is that done? With the derivative bubble? $3 quadrillion in derivatives are about to go sideways. And if you're sitting on the sidelines, that's the only thing you're going to have left, whatever you got in your hand. No ETFs. God knows, no mining shares. Not one country, not even the United States of America. When the monetary system fails, not one country is going to say, oh yeah, you people, you smart people who invested in mining shares, you can have the riches of the world. Not a chance. Not a chance. They'll all be nationalized. Even in the United States, they'll pay you, fiat money. Here's your, when the system crashed, here's what your shares were worth. Maybe they might do that. Might not. But it'll be in fiat money. You will not reap the benefits. If you have, I don't know how long I've been saying this. I can't imagine anything worse than being in this game. I've been in it 25 years. being in this game, going through all the pain and suffering, understanding everything, and then at the last second, you're not invested in the right thing. You invested in mining shares or royalties or, God forbid, an ETF. And you don't get the benefit. It's got to be in your own possession. Metal in your own possession. Cryptos in your own possession. Cryptos are for the future. Where will Bitcoin go to? I don't know. Since they took out FTX and the deep state, well, part of the FTX deep state, that was part of the plan of the good guys. And then all of a sudden Trump said, yeah, now we can go to Bitcoin. I do think Bitcoin will play a major role. And yes, I do think that Bitcoin, Satoshi's Bitcoin is in the hand of the United States of America. Why do you think Trump would say that? It's 1 million Bitcoin. Yeah, Tatsuki Nakamoto, by the way, is Satoshi Nakamoto. What are you talking about? Go watch Road to Ruta stuff. It is obvious. Look at all his papers. They're even written in the same style that the Bitcoin white paper is written in. Nobody talks about it. A few people have said, yeah, this guy who's been working on crypto technology for 30 years or so could have been it, but nobody talks about it. They talk about crazy people. Craig Wright. Oh, he's Satoshi. That's such bullshit. Anyway. Yeah, I do think it's in the hands of the U.S. government. Always has been, most likely. But it is. I mean, those who don't think Bitcoin's going to make it, you're just wrong. You're wrong. Cryptos are the future. And I get a lot of people on the road to say, oh, I can't believe you believe in that, electronic blips and all that. What's going to happen when the power goes out? When the power goes out, you're dead. You die. So you don't have to worry about it. If the power stays on, what if the grid goes down? If the grid goes down, Bitcoin is not usable. When the grid comes up, Bitcoin is usable. Everybody has the exact same amount of Bitcoin or other cryptos. Yeah, but what if it stays down? Then we all die. Everything is run off the internet now. All the nuclear power plants would melt down. There would be no nothing. And it would take probably an extra 2 days for the entire system. The difference between the internet going down and the power going down. Power going down, I heard civilization might last a couple weeks to a month. Internet goes down maybe a month and a half to 2 months. And then it's over. Then everybody's dead. Why? Because everything has been integrated into the internet. The running of nuclear power plants. You're saying, hey, the guy who has the shutoff switch lives 5 miles away, but he can't get there because he can't get any gasoline for his car because the internet's down. That's how insane we are getting right now. And to survive anything like that, you need to have assets in your own possession, neighbors and friends ready to band together, family members, got to get them on board. No time left for them to be left out. If you have friends who are planning on demonstrating in one of the deep state demonstrations, tell them not to. Say, don't go. Don't go. Nothing but trouble. And oh, by the way, you might not come back alive. That's how crazy it's getting. Of course, I was born and raised in Oakland, so yeah. For the leading edge of that battle. I moved, by the way. I hung in there as long as I could. I loved that town. And then it got taken over. They just replaced the mayor, which is good. But it's like the Democrats have already destroyed everything on purpose. On purpose. So just get ready for that. All right, back to silver. Again, they're gunning for the moving averages. They're almost at, I think they might have touched upon the 100-day moving average, which is, 100-day moving average currently is right here. What's going on here? It's about a little over $30. $30.50 something cents. Why can't I see it? There it is. It is $30.30. Get this in your head. Right in your head. Silver's trading at 60% of its all-time high from 1980. How much money have they printed since 1980? Not just U.S. dollars. All money. Silver is global. And what is money these days? Is it the pieces of paper? Is the electronic blips? Is it the coinage made by each country's mint? Is it the derivatives? The reality is all of that counts as money in different situations. So yes, silver should be in the $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 an ounce range right now. And it will be. But what's that ounce worth? Like Cliff says, yes, we will have $600 silver very soon. You wouldn't want to live in a $600 silver world because everything will have changed. I'm saying, yeah, we would. We might. It's a lot of work. A lot of the QFS people, the quantum financial system people, and the XRP people, and the dinar people are starting to question their sensibility and sanity. Why did they invest in this when you got crazy people like Charlie Ward saying, yeah, put all your money here? It's just so insane. All those are falling apart now, and those guys are on the run, or they will be on the run soon. But you can still save yourself. Get physical silver in your own possession. Get some good cryptos that you think will be helpful in the future. My number one favorite by far is the Theta family of tokens. If you like the internet, and I just told you the internet is 100% required for future generations, and the only way it can work, especially if the monetary system breaks down, there's going to be no computer chips coming out of Taiwan, or if China invades Taiwan. There's no computer chips coming out of Taiwan. How do we expand broadband if we don't have any computer chips? If we can't make new hardware to expand broadband? Very simple. The Theta Edge node expands broadband. The Theta Edge node expands decentralized cloud storage. A lot of people are asking me, well, why, if Theta has all these partners, Google, Samsung, Amazon, Microsoft, if they're all partnered with those people, those massive entities that run the iCloud and all the cloud storage, why aren't these partners saying anything about it? Why aren't these partners helping Theta Labs? Theta Labs just introduced mobile edge node that can go on 3.9 billion Android devices, and not a word from anybody, from one of their partners, any of their partners. Well, I think it's pretty simple. It's competition. Yes, they're partners, but right now they don't absolutely need it, so they're not going to say a word. Shh, don't talk about it. Don't talk about what Theta's doing. And by the way, the deep state never was in Theta. So, anyway, yeah. All right, so what's going on? First, silver is the most important. Silver is the bank killer. Commitment of traders report from last week. The private road people, I did a full analysis on the private road. Go check that out. But as expected, when they slammed the price down, and they slammed it down that week, the bad guys went in. Let me show you where we are here. Tuesday to Tuesday. So it went from there, from 34 down to here, down to Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, right in here to 33, a couple bucks. And as always, at the CFTC can't see it for some reason, they massively decreased their short position. It happens every time. It happens every time. A handful of traders in silver, and that handful of traders is 3 or 4, and they switch around. There's about 8 total that are involved in this trade, and all done with computers and derivatives, high-frequency trading by a guy named Vinny Viola of Virtu Financial. I've been screaming this for a very long time. Nobody listens. The CFTC doesn't listen. They already know, though. They already know. Bart Chilton already told us. It's a political decision. Free markets are a political decision now. Anyway, so yeah, they closed out. Let's take a quick look. It's somewhere around 25 million ounces in the last week. The new reporting week is done today, so they're going to do what they do all the way up until the end of the day. And this is what the week looked like. Come on now. There it is. So they slammed it down. That means they closed out a whole lot of shorts again. And then they'll get to a base number. But again, if they go below the 100 or 200-day moving average, India especially right now, India is going to import probably over 300 million ounces if they slam it under the 100-day. If they slam it out under the 200-day forget about it. Russia, China, and India will buy every last ounce on the planet and say, screw you, this game is over. But again, who wins? Who wins if the game is over? The unbacked fiat monetary system is over. Who wins? The largest debtor nation. Well, who's the largest debtor nation, Bix? The United States of America. By far. By far. Double. More than double what China is. Well, how could the leading economic powerhouses be so much in debt? Because they use leverage. Because they give themselves the power to print money out of thin air. If you had a printing press, how much would you print for yourself? You'd print all of it for yourself. And that's the glory of what is happening. One of the, I forgot what, it was a Fed meeting, and they said, if Trump asked you, to Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed, if Trump asked you to stand down, would you leave? And Powell said no. And wait, this is the president of the United States telling the Fed chairman to step down. He's going to say no. And then they said, well, you know, what if he forces you to or something? He said he doesn't have the legal authority. Excuse me, Jerome, where is the legal authority for the Federal Reserve System? Oh, that's the Federal Reserve Act. Is the Federal Reserve Act constitutional? It is not constitutional, not even close to constitutional. Only Congress has the power to print money, to create money, to deal in the money of the United States. Only. You cannot delegate that power to some criminal bankers. So the law, if you really want to know the law says you shouldn't even have a Federal Reserve. There was no reason to. And if you've been on the road to Ruta long enough, you know that the reason the Fed was created in 1913 was not for the bankers to take over. It was because of the gold found in the Grand Canyon. Billions and billions and billions of ounces found in the Grand Canyon. And that's just on the banks. Just the placer gold in the sand up and down the Colorado River. It's still there. It is still there just waiting for us. But there's more within the Grand Canyon. Huge seams of gold that you're not allowed to go there. I know a guy, very trustworthy guy, who went to a part of the Grand Canyon because his father was a military guy, kind of knee deep in all this stuff. And they shouldn't have gone there, but they did. They're going down the Colorado River, a tribute of the Colorado River. And all of a sudden, these guys come out with machine guns. This is back in the 60s. And get over here, and they take him to an army base within the Grand Canyon. He didn't see any gold at the time, but it's a massive army base. And his father got the riot act read to him, but because he was high enough in the military that he was let go. Otherwise, they would have just taken him out. This is the biggest secret there is. And it was exposed through the Road to Ruta documents, Fed Boston. Guy named Stephen Duveau, by the way. Stephen Duveau, not a military guy, did work for the Fed for 8 years or so. Computer expert, project implementation expert. If you know this stuff, go to roadtoruta.com if you don't know it. It's all explained in the videos I have there. You just go to roadtoruta.com, scroll down, great videos all over the place, but right down here, I think it's there's the discussion with the head of Silver Eagle sales at the U.S. Mint. Frightening. Right there, Secrets of the Fed and Golden Oldies to Crypto Future. Those two explain what the Road to Ruta theory is and how I came to discover all this stuff. Go check it out. Anyway, so I believe that we're going to see another close down of a lot of shorts, net short positions by the commercials on this Commitment of Traders report, which is released on Friday about 1 o'clock, I think it is, or so. So what's going on with the COMEX? Still huge volumes. Yesterday's volume was almost 100 million ounces, almost 100,000 contracts, which is 500 million ounces. Mind you, they only mine, 820, 830 million ounces all year of silver. Thousands of people working in that industry, massive amounts of capital. And yet the COMEX is allowed to trade 500 million derivative contracts in a single day. 500 million ounces worth of derivative contracts in a single day. This day they did 800 million, which was, 4 700 million, almost 100% of all the silver that's mined. And by the way, 100% of silver, newly silver mined today, goes into industrial uses. 100%. Don't look at what the Silver Institute says. They lie. They have lied for a very long time. They can't be that stupid, so they're doing it on purpose, which is illegal, which I think Trump should look at. Trump, if you're listening to me, you know I love you, but if you rig the markets again, I give you no support. You rigged the markets last time, said, well, it needed to be done. Okay, what about this time? You still need to hire neocons so that people learn a lesson? I get that there's been a lot of good guys put in good places so far in the new Trump administration, but I hear he's thinking about other bad guys, neocons. I'm like, what are you doing? Unless he's going to pull the plug before he gets in. Unless the United States is going to pull the plug or the deep state's going to pull the plug. Everybody wants to pull the plug on this system now for their own purposes. And the question is going to be, what do we do after that? When you can't go to your ATM anymore. You can't go to you use your credit card. There's no stock portfolio anymore. That's what will happen when the derivative bubble melts. Warren Buffett calls it a weapon of mass financial destruction. Oh, by the way, if you want to know who's buying all this silver, Warren Buffett is. India is. Elon Musk is. China is. Russia is. All of them are buying physical silver. Massive amounts to destroy the banking cabal. And it's going to work. All right. So, again, here's an exchange for physical. Another one that's 3.5 million ounces. Add that to Harvey Organ blog's number. So far in November, we're about a little over a third of the way. We're at 54 million ounces have been delivered in London for COMEX contracts in America. That's huge. That's a big number. We'll see what happens. And all this is going to, like I said, India, China, Russia, Elon, Warren Buffett. Keep an eye on that. All right. I want to talk about Bitcoin real quick. Yes, Bitcoin's up, 23% in 7 days. It should never have gone down. It should never go up like it is. It's rigged. Yes, cryptos are 100% rigged, 1,000% rigged. How do you know? It's a different kind of rigging. They just use fake crypto on these unregulated exchanges. Look at the volume of Bitcoin. The volume in the last 24 hours, $152 billion of Bitcoin traded hands, supposedly. That's almost 2 million of the 21 million. So 10%. A little less than 10% of all the Bitcoin ever mined in the world, which is what is the? I think it's at 21 now. Total Bitcoin mined, all-time high. I thought you could see it over here. Here we go. Yeah, we're at total supply is 19.78. So we haven't hit 20. And people keep asking me, well, Bix, when it hits 21, what's going to happen? It doesn't hit 21 till the year 2130 or so, because it keeps halving every 4 years. So yeah, Bitcoin's going to be around. Do I think it's the best, will give the best return? Probably the safest of the cryptos is Bitcoin, but it won't give the best return. Just look at Bitcoin right now is at what? $86,000. Let's just say Bitcoin doubles. Oh my God. Doubling of Bitcoin, it goes to $173,000 per Bitcoin. You're like, oh my God, I wish I had Bitcoin. Really? What about this guy? What about Theta? $1.41. What happens if Theta doubles? You're at $3 or $2.80. Wait, wasn't it $13? Yes, it was. And will it be higher than that? Absolutely. Is it as stable as Bitcoin? No. Is it as undervalued as Bitcoin? It's way more undervalued than Bitcoin. Nobody knows what's going on at Theta. It's shocking, especially the tech investors who should know this shit. I mean, people are just rapid fire into NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA doesn't even work without Theta. They're going to run out of storage capacity. They're going to run out of computing speed. Why not use the excess capacity of all the NVIDIA chips on the planet to run your AI stuff? That's what Theta does. It shares capacity. It shares storage space. It shares broadband. It expands broadband. Anyway, don't say I never told you. But right now, I wouldn't even buy Theta. Right now, I'd buy Theta Fuel. Theta Fuel is at 6 cents. I think it'll go to probably better than what its ratio is of above ground tokens, which is I think 6 to 1, 6.7 to 1 right now. There's a billion Theta and there's 6.7 billion T-Fuel, which is the money, the currency of the Theta network, where the Theta token is the governance token. Everybody in the mother will be earning Theta Fuel on their Android phone, and it will come to Apple. Apple has, it's kind of like this thing. It's the same reason that Theta is not on Coinbase yet. And by the way, when that happens, kiss that baby goodnight. You're going to see Theta go 10x, 20x, 30x, whatever it goes when U.S. customers are, quote, allowed to buy it. And that's coming with the Trump administration. So how long do we got? I don't know. Not very long. And then people love to chase momentum. When Theta was rolling from 4 cents to $13, everybody and the mother was getting in. You want to buy when people aren't talking about it, which is now. Anyway. At the private road at roadtoroota.com, we have a Theta page, teaches you how to buy, store, and stake it. Go to roadtoroota.com, click on subscribe today, and we're currently actually giving away 10 Theta, 100 T-Fuel, and 1,000 T-Drop loaded on paper wallet. You don't have to know about cryptos. With every private road membership, we give this away. We'll mail it to your front door. You take it, you stick it in you're safe with your silver. We were doing this with Bitcoin when it was like $100, $200. We've given away 0.1 Bitcoin. 0.1 Bitcoin is now worth, drum roll please, $8,681. So if you're an early Road to Roota subscriber and you got a couple of these 0.1 Bitcoins, you're doing all right. But over time, the good ones are going to stay. The bad ones are going to go away. So that's what I got for you. I would say, what is my advice right now? Put your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye. No, that's not. I think we are headed to a position where we take down the global financial system, which takes away all the power of the deep state, by the way. We return to constitutional money because there can't be any deciders. No quantum financial system. No, the BIS isn't going to take over, or the World Bank. It's all bullshit. There can be no deciders. We won't trust anybody. When the old system is gone, we don't trust anybody now. But because we've invested in their system, we like looking at our bank accounts. We like looking at our stock accounts and say, oh, this is the greatest ever. And then one day it'll just be gone. Poof. Poof. And that's because there's $3 quadrillion of derivatives supporting the system. And it's about to be stomped on. It can be stomped on by the U.S., the good guys, the bad guys, Russia, China, India, you name it. Russia, China, India, it would be probably buying silver. Oh, by the way, which they're absolutely doing. India is going to import over 300 million. That's their record by far. I think they're on track to do that, especially if the riggers put silver under the moving averages. They might not. I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. Anyway, great time to be alive. Hang in there. Sit on the sidelines. Just watch the game. HODL for all you crypto people. Silver, HODL, physical metal in your own possession. Nobody knows what's going to happen because we've never had a global unbacked fiat monetary system until this experience in the last 100 years. This is global. I don't want to underpipe that. This is everybody. It's not just, China's going to take over the fiat monetary system. No, it's not going to happen. This is a global systemic problem. We're going to pull the plug very soon. Everybody bring your troops home, especially the United States. Let the Mexicans go back to Mexico because they'll be one of the richest countries in the world with all that silver. There's going to be reverse migration going. And Mexico's going to want that wall up so Americans don't go down to Mexico to try to get the silver. See how it all works? Not that guy they just appointed to take care of the deportation problem is going to have the easiest job in the world. $600 silver. Everybody is going to run back to Mexico because all their friends and family are much better off than the people in the United States, the immigrants that came into the United States. Just open the borders, let them go back. Mexico's like, no, you're going to shut the border. We have to shut the border. There's too many people coming in. It's a complete reversal of what just happened. It's crazy. Hold on to your hats. This is Bix. I'll talk to you later.